Let's start the interview now. Tell me something about yourself.
Okay, Eva, let me introduce myself. My name is Jaden Kim, and I have been working for Samsung SDS about 20 minutes, 20 hours. Um, my job is planning late job. I have to report to my management and make corporate level strategy. And currently, I'm working for making the new business related job. Mm, Actually, I was a software developer back as a junior, but I changed the job from graduating MBA course. And I have family with my wife and my children, two kids. This is all about myself. Thank you, Eva.
What do people normally do on the internet? Do they play games, listen to music, or watch movies? Please tell me about the things people do online.
Okay, Eva, internet? Okay, let's go for it. Uh, when it comes to the internet, we can do everything with the internet. Listening to music, such as listening to music, reading books, and buying food through online. Mm, the internet makes our lives very happy. Uh, Nowadays, we use internet with mobile phones. So it is even convenient using internet with the mobile. Um, my wife enjoys buying food, internet. Lastly, before the evolution of internet, we visited all the stores to buy some food or some items. Nowadays, we don't need to do that. We just click and buying, select and buying. That's it. It is very convenient and the delivery speed is faster. This is all about the internet. That's it.
How is internet usage different among generations? What do younger people commonly do online? What do older people do online? Please give me all the details.
Mm, okay, Eva. Generation differences using internet. Let's go for it. Mm, when I visited my parents' house, I had a chance to mm, examine my parents using internet patterns. Mm, Back then, my parents, the old generation, used the internet only taking a phone call or just watching YouTube. I think this is the two only two functions to use, but the generation differences. Uh, but let me compare my kids generation. My daughter is a university student. My daughter use everything using internet. For example, mm, reading books using internet. My daughter, uh, do not buy the books anymore, and reading news, listening to music, buying food, and all kind of activities are done in internet. So the I think to myself, if my daughter do not need to go outside because he can do everything with the internet. This is the comparison between the old generation and young generation. That's it.
Do you remember what you did on the internet yesterday? Which website did you visit? Why did you visit that website? Please tell me about the things you did on that website yesterday.
Okay, Eva, the experience of using internet yesterday. Okay, let's go for it. Uh, as you know, this is a test day today, so I studied English with using internet. I visited some English study cafe. I mean the YouTube channel. They explain and they gave a lecture of how to get a high score. Mm, those kind of lessons are given. So I I think 3 hours watching this YouTube channel. It is very helpful uh, from now on. But um, if we do not use internet, I had to visit the academic institute in the downtown and spend many time to moving around. But using internet, we can do not, we do not need to go further to have a study with this kind of studying. So internet make us very convenient world and time we save time and the contents most of the contents are free so we can save money. This is all about the internet usage yesterday. Thank you.
I would like to ask you about how recycling is practiced in your country. What do people especially do? Please tell me about all the different kinds of items that you recycle.
Okay, Emma. I will talk about the recycling in our country or in our community. When it comes to recycling, people are very eager to distribute the recycling more and more. I think the matter of the environment preservance is very hot issue in Korea. So people tend to distribute and separate the recycling items. For example, we can make all the plastic separated and the food, garbage, and paper, and the plastic and can. We can separate as far as I can. So I hope this will help to our mm, environmental problem. Uh, but some people do not like this kind of activities. Actually, it's not easy and very annoying job, annoying thing. But most of the Koreans tend to do this job very eagerly. Uh, so I hope this will help to save the save the earth. That's it.
How is recycling you practiced when you were young different from what you do today? What are the differences and similarities? Please tell me about how recycling has changed over the years.
Okay, Eva. The comparison, the past and present about the recycling. Oh, it is a very big and important subject. Let's go for it. When I was little, actually there was no policy or regulation about recycling. We just gather and collect all the garbages together and throw it somewhere in the maybe in the outside of our house. There was no system for the regulation. But however, the recycling trends have changed a lot over the years. And nowadays, we can separate all the items as far as I can, as I mentioned it, the previous problem. Uh, we, I think it is the trend to separate and recycle perfectly. I've watched every person try to do the separate all the items for the recycle. If we visit the recycling center, we can watch the people very work eagerly to throw it very detail and very separate and very cleanly. This makes me very peaceful mind. I think to myself, I will save the earth day by day. Mm. As most Koreans think together like this. That's it.
I would like to ask you about an unexpected incident regarding recycling. When was it? Who were you with? What exactly happened? How did you solve the situation? Tell me everything about that day from the beginning to the end.
Okay, Eva. The experience about the incident while we were recycling. Okay, let's go for it. Mm, When I was in high school students, my family, my job in my house was to recycle. I mean, we gathered on recycling cabbages together and throw it. Uh, I thought it was a once a week job for me. I gathered the recycle as usual, and move it to the recycling center. When I when I went outside, suddenly I dropped the recycle items. Mm, Among the recycle items, there was a disease. Uh, it was broken perfectly, so the sound was very big. The old person in our apartment gathered. What happened? Oh my God! It's not so um, a serious situation, but people are very worried about this. For me, actually, I was okay. So I told them it is okay for me, and please do your job that I explained. And I cleaned them all and went back home. This is my incident experience that I faced. Thank you.
What means of transportation do you use to get around? Do you drive or take public transportation?
Okay, Eva, I will explain my transportation. Ex- mm, let's go for it. Mm, every day I commute from my home to my office with subway. It takes about 1 hour from door to door. Uh, the big the Speaking of the subway that I ride every day is a Sinbundang line. It is directly go to the main downtown within 30 minutes. Uh, I mean the distance is a little bit long. It is more than 20 miles, but the speed is very fast. I mean, if we drive to the downtown in a rush hour, it takes more than 1.5 hour for me. But the subway take me to a very close exact time very fast. So I like this transportation. So I ride it every day instead of driving. This is my story about transportation. Thank you.
How did you travel when you were a child? Were the types of transportation different back then? Describe for me how people used to get around in your city or town.
Okay, Eva. The experience travel when I was little. Okay, let's go for it. When I was a childhood, actually my parents did not have our own car. We have had to uh, move using public transportation instead of driving. Mm, when I was little, uh, I did not realize that it is not convenient. It was a natural travel type for me. If we went to our grandfather's house, it takes more than 5 or 6 hours by transportation. It's bus, express bus. Back then, the highway is one, just one thing. I mean, we had no alternative railway highway, just one highway, so traffic jam was very severe, heavy. So when season the Thanksgiving Day, even we took more than 10 hours by bus. Um, I didn't know that it is not so mm, difficult thing to move the transportation, but nowadays it is very convenient and very faster than before. Uh, this is about my childhood transportation travel. Thank you.
Think about a time while you had trouble using public transportation. When was it and who were you with? What exactly happened? How did you deal with the situation? Please give me all the details.
Okay, the experience of public transportation. Mm, I will share my story about traveling with my friends. Let's go for it. Mm, when I was a university student, me and my friend decided to go to the mountain mm, to enjoy the autumn season. Speaking of the autumn season, it was a very perfect spot mm, for just sitting and relaxing while looking on the beautiful autumn trees. Mm. So it was very happy to be there, and the mountain was very fantastic and very good scenery, and sky is very high. In short, we enjoyed the travel perfectly. But something funny things happened there. Uh, we climbed the mountain and down to the street to stay the hotel, but we couldn't find any public transportation. I mean, the road is very small and we couldn't find any kind of public transportation. So instead of riding and finding public transportation, uh, we tried to find the truck or the hitchhiking. Actually, it's not a public transportation, but we had no choice. We had no options. So we university students are waving, shaking our hands to please take us to the hotel for free. Happily, some big truck rode me and took me to a hotel. It was very memorable and happy situation back then. Still, we talk about this with my friends. This is my story about the public transportation. Thank you.
I'd like to give you a situation and ask you to act it out. You have a job interview at a company tomorrow, but you don't know much about the company. Call the company and ask 3 or 4 questions about the company.
Mm. Hi there. This is Jaden Kim. I have to visit your office tomorrow to get a job interview. I'm very honored to go there, and actually, I have a little information about the office and the company. So please give me some information to prepare. I actually I have 2 or 3 questions for this job interview. Please let me know as your understanding. First, how I get there? Is it close to the subway station? How can I go to which exit from the AA station? Ah, ah, number 2 exit. And okay, I see. I'll try to find it. Thank you. And the second is it available to have a lunch there? I mean, my interview time is 11:30. After having interview, can I have dinner there? I have another appointment in the afternoon, so I want to visit your restaurant in advance. And lastly, do you give me some incentive for this interview? The other people give me some coupon or some cashes for interviewing. I wonder, do you have this kind of system, reward system for us? This is the question about the visiting the job interview. Thank you.
I'm sorry, but there is a problem you need to resolve. Unfortunately, something happened to you and you cannot make it to the interview. Call the company and explain what happened to you. Then, give 2 to 3 alternatives to make some arrangements for a schedule change.
Hi there. This is Jaden Kim. I was planned to go the job interview tomorrow, but some serious situation happened to me. We have a confirmed person in my office, so I had to go my home now, and I could not move about 10 days. So I'd like to know this my situation, and I have some options to solve this problem. One is how about doing the interview with online? I think I can access the internet and open the Zoom using the application Zoom. We can meet online, and I can have an interview. This second, maybe it's some limitation to have an online meeting. If you don't mind, I'd like you to postpone the interview until the 10 days after that. If you have time, I think it's okay to meet in person. But the online meeting is okay for me, so I let me know what's the best for you. This is my option and my situation. Please understanding me and let me know your opinion. That's it.
That's the end of the situation. Have you ever had to cancel an appointment or a meeting for some reason? What exactly happened, and how did you deal with the situation? Please give me all the details.
Okay, Eva. I will share my experience about canceling some meetings. Actually, it's not so far. Last week, our office got a confirmed person. Oh my God! It's a very terrible situation because I had a meeting with him about an hour. So I was very upset about this and a little bit feel not comfortable about this. Uh, Everyone in the office knew the situation, so they evacuate right uh, right reporting the confirmed person. So uh, actually, I did not need to explain many things, excuse. I just tell my partner or appointment partner that we had a confirmed person in my office. Okay, I see. Let's meet again. Let's have a dinner later. So I don't need to excuse my meeting cancels, but actually it's not a good solution, but just telling the truth is the best policy for me. Yes, this is my story about canceling the meeting.
How is traveling today different from the past? What are some difficulties that people go through regarding going on domestic trips? Has traveling become more difficult in any way? If so, tell me why.
Okay, Eva, traveling change. Let's go for it. Actually, pandemic have changed a lot over the years of our life. I mean, when the traveling trend is also changed. In detail, we tend to visit the hotel um, for many years, but the trend have changed. We do not uh, prefer hotel. That instead we visited some small house for a traveling. We mm, do not like the many people gathering place, so we just visit a small place, a small house. It is a kind of pension system. We call it pension. It is a different meaning in Korea. Pension means a very luxurious lodging, the small guest house, but it is very luxurious. We visit there instead of visiting hotel. I think the traveling trend changes like this way. That's it.
What are some issues people have related to traveling? What do people need to do in order to solve these problems?
Okay, Eva. Issues about traveling. I think the most serious problem is about recycling. I mean, the people during the traveling throw out the garbages and every place while they do not be cautious to throw out this kind of recycling. In order to solve this problem, uh, government should make regulation about this. They have to be fined. Uh, then people will be cautious about throwing the garbages. So we need to make this kind of regulation. Mm. Regulation make man not easy situation, but we have to abide by it. Uh, this is all about the issues related with traveling. That's it.